However, players tend to focus on leaders first, then subs, then equips. Unfortunately, the endgame changes quite often, and old meta leads usually become non-viable in newly released technical sub-dungeons, as team building is and should be specialized to the dungeon. Guess what carries over from team to team most of the time? That's right, the equips are what remain useful over time. Does anyone think that Yugimoto...
You literally admit that the latest dungeons require the latest top leads and cannot be beaten without them, yet somehow decide that equips and subs are more important. I have a ton of subs and equips but none of the top transform cards, and guess what? I can't beat crap. The leaders are the most important because that is the way Gung Ho designed the game, and wants people chasing those leads so they can make the dollar.
Hey guys, it's Lumen, and today I am presenting my AMD1 Fairy Title Challenge team. And so you might be looking at it and going, what the heck are these cards? And the backstory behind it is that I just didn't want to use a meta team. Of course, my box is very deep and very comprehensive. There's a lot of stuff in it, right, that I've collected. And if I wanted to, I could have made a really strong team and just cleared very easily. But I thought that was boring, right? And so for my own entertainment, I decided, why the heck should I force myself to use a stock standard meta comp when I can just use a really dumb one instead? Now that I voiced it, I'm like, wait, I seem to be missing some logic here. But you know what? It's okay. You know why? Because we play the game for our own entertainment, and for me, I thought this was going to be entertaining. And so I did this and subsequently tortured myself to get this clear. So yeah, that's how this team came to be. Now, in terms of like how I actually came up with the idea, the title challenge rolls around, right? And I'm like, okay, I have the title challenge here. What should I use? And right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I don't want to use Yuji Maito, right? Yuji Maito is the stock standard meta comp that everyone's gonna use. You go on Reddit, oh my god, fairy title clearer, Yuji Maito, I'm so good at the game, right? It's like, I'm not trying to degrade anyone. It's like, I love you all, okay? And if you clear, you clear. You just do what you gotta do, right? But for me, that's just so old, It's like, if I do that too, I could, right? I could do that too, but it'd just be pointless, right? It'd be like, oh, cool, Lumen, you did it. Oh, yeah, congratulations. It's like there's nothing to it. So I was like, all right, what should I use instead? And so I was actually looking at Natsuru, because Fairy Title Challenge, Star Twine Fairy, they're kind of meant for this dungeon, right? And so I was thinking, okay, I don't have Fearless, and that's one of my biggest regrets, but I just got unlucky, and there's nothing I can do about it, okay? I'm thinking of Natsuru, right? Because, Rosalind is pretty strong, and I've already done it with Rosalind, and I just don't like Rosalind, right? It's just, I'm biased. So I'm like thinking Natsuru, okay, I've never done Natsuru. I want to try it. What should I do? And the first thing that comes to mind is, well, I need to do some plus CC leaders, right? And so I was like looking around, and I come across Super Reincarnate Amon. And right off the bat, I'm like, oh my god, I remember this card. This card's really good. Like, well, not good, but he's like novel, right? And so I'm like, all right, how am I gonna use this? Well, with Natsuru, you can't, because you're just screwed, right? 8 seconds fixed move time, and you have a 7x6. Oh, lordy. You could, but you wouldn't be able to maximize the value of that full board, and I generally don't think it'll be worth it at all. So I'm like, okay, if I can't pair with Natsuru, who can I pair with? I'm like thinking, okay, we just need water autoflow, right? I look around, there's Super Reincarnate Mori. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's actually juiced. He's so good. And so I'm like, okay. So I have Super Reincarnate Mori and Super Reincarnate Amon. And so now I have my team structure. Who am I going to fill for the rest to get my subs, my equips, to make sure I get this Fairy Title clear? And so that's how it all began, right? And that's how this team was formed, right? And to be honest, the process of team building, going in, dying, rebuilding, fixing, going in again, dying again, fixing again, just that process until I cleared, the clear felt so much more satisfying. It really did, right? It's like, oh, okay, you cleared. Who cares? You could have cleared anyway with a better team. Like, why would you do this? And the reason is just because I enjoy it, right? I enjoy playing with this team. I wanted to test the boundaries, and turns out that Amon and Mori can clear AMD1. Of course, with the healer typing boost, right? Healer Devil, that gives them an advantage over regular MD1, for example. But at the very least, I just proved that I can clear. And to me, that means everything, because it's like, oh my god, this team actually works. Feels very satisfying just to get it done. Yeah, it's just what it is. So how I went and built the team, why I put it in. Amon is very simple. It's fixed move time and then just link for 2 combos and attack. For Mori, you have 60% shield, which is a decent amount of survivability. It's not like the greatest, but it is something. And then you have 4x attack and recovery, but only when your skills are used. So if you don't use an active skill that turn, you are screwed. And I've died a couple times because guess what? Oh, I don't need to use an active skill on this floor. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and then I die because I couldn't recover and I couldn't deal damage. So that was something, right? Use your active skills every turn. But if you do that, then you can proc his leader skill to the max, right? And so I was thinking, okay, Amon is a 2-turn cooldown. So if I just put 2 of them, I will proc active skill every single turn, no matter what. And so I was like thinking, okay, why don't I do that? I put 2 of them. That gives me consistent orb generation, and that allows me to really just make the leader skills consistently good. And the next part is, what do I put in for the rest of my subs? And keep in mind that because I'm running 2 transforms, the assists on those 2 cannot be used for their actives. They can only be used for their awakening. So that's just a note to keep in mind, right? Like, you're limited to 4 inherit slots and 6 base actives. So what did I use to fill in the rest of my team? The first consideration I had was, okay, Amon generates orbs off of fire and then hazards, poison, bombs, jammers, right? And mortal poison as well. So how do I make sure I have poison? How do I make sure I have jammer for Amon to convert? And the first thing I thought of, and I'm sure you guys were thinking of this too, I need the jammer boost and poison boost awakenings to give me some free poison and jammer skyfalls, because guess what? Normally those are dangerous, except they're not, because I have Amon who will convert those into water, which will greatly benefit me. Okay, but where do I get those? For the poison boost, a natural solution, I just look up equips, right? I'm like, okay, poison boost equip, there's Bakura, which is whatever, I don't need that bind resist. And then there's Aconite, which is 3 team HP. And well, 3 team HP is really broken. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use the Aconite equip. Case closed, just slap it on an Amon. You're not gonna use that active. Perfect on one of the Amons, right? Okay, what about the jammer boost? Looking at the equips, it's not that hot. So for the jammer boost equips, you have Fenrir necklace, right? Which is okay, it's jammer boost and then like 6 resist or whatever, which is, on its own, it's an awesome package with the clear downside. But for me, it's kind of other way around, right? The jammer boost is the upside and the resists are the clear downside, because guess what? I don't need any of those resists, right? Like, I want the enemy to spawn poisons. I want the enemy to spawn jammers, right? I don't care if they do that, because I'm just going to convert it away. So the fact that I am, reducing my own chances of letting the enemy help me is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. So I was like, okay, what about the other equip? Well, it's Zokenbato's equip, and that also sucks too, because guess what? It's a jammer boost and 3 green rows. That's completely useless to me, and I'm not going to waste my time with a completely useless equip. So guess what? I'm like, okay, I gotta find a different solution. So now I look for cards with jammer boosts in their awakenings, right? Or super awakening. I'm looking through, I'm like, okay, there's Naga, there's this, there's that. Starster. And Starster turned out to be the perfect fit, because Starster, guess what? It has a jammer boost. Oh, guess what? It has skill boost. It's unbindable. It has OEs for damage. It has 7Cs for damage. And best of all, it has a really good active in its full awoken bind clear, which is absolutely OP, because the timing of it that makes it so great is I don't need it in the beginning, right? So I inherit something on top of it and use the inherit in the beginning and let charge up. I need the active on Sarasvati, right? Sarasvati 7-turn awoken bind, I need it. I need the active on Takami Misubi, 10-turn awoken bind, I need it. Other than that, I don't really need it. So beginning, I put a haste on Starster, and then later down the line, I just use them when I need them, right? And the awesome thing about him is that he also generates a board of water, jammer, and heal orbs. Well, guess what? Those jammers are just more water orbs. So it's just 2/3 water, 1/3 heal on average, which is a perfectly insane board for Amon Mori. Another note to keep in mind is that on the Sarasvati floor, if you get Arian Rod instead, Arian Rod makes 4 spinners in a very uncomfortable position. But the thing is, this board gives you a lot of heals and water. So what do? You pop it anyway on Arian Rod, and you use Amon to convert, and then you just make sure to get a heal row and a blob of water so that you can get rid of the spinners right away. This is actually really convenient, and it's one of the reasons why I think Starster is active is so amazing. Okay, so Starster is locked in, right? And I put a haste on him, right? Harvest Lute for recovery, because I have more recovery than HP technically. But with me using the HP plus badge, me using Team HP equipped, the HP scales much higher than the recovery does. Harvest Lute, which gives me skill boost, it gives me 2 haste, it gives me cloud. Last but not least, you have the 2 team recovery that just really boosts that recovery. Because look, on the team, if you notice so far, I have no heal generation. So whatever heal orbs I do get, I need to maximize to the fullest. And thankfully with the heal team recovery that I just got from Harvest Lute and from another equip I'll be talking about later, I had so much recovery that the heal orbs were just, you know, I couldn't die, right? Well, I could die, but not because of a lack of under healing. Okay, so now we have Sophie and we have Kugane. Basically, what I was looking for is just damage and utility, right? So in terms of clerics, right, I have Starster, but I need to clear unmatchable. So unfortunately, it's really hard to slot in like an unmatchable clear. That was really good. The best I got was like Menuet Kitty. But the thing is, right, it has these 3 color awakenings that are completely useless because as you can tell, there are only 2 awakenings on this team, right? And even then, one of the awakenings, the fire attribute, it's not going to be used because it's converted away. So really, there's only one attribute on this team, and that's water. What ended up happening was I used base Sophie to use the TPAs and put an unmatchable latent. So I just used the TPAs to unmatch. This causes some problems as you can't use water to unmatch if they're already unmatchable, which means that if I got water unmatchable on floor 4, I would instantly die. So right off the bat, you already have a 20% auto loss, right? Which sucks. For the other ones, I just make water TPAs on the extra turn and then I kill afterwards. The other unmatchable enemy in AMD1 is Kami Masubi, right? And the problem with Kami Masubi is that it makes heal unmatchable, which I can get rid of with water orbs, right? The problem is I don't spawn enough water orbs to blob to shield myself and at the same time make TPAs to unmatch the heals, right? So that's kind of a problem, which means guess what? I can't unmatch the heals right away. And the reason why that's hugely important is because of this. Kami Masubi preempts really hard the first turn, enough that I will die if I don't heal in the between. But I can't because I'm unmatchable. And I already established why I can't even heal, get rid of the unmatchable because of the way the TPA latent works and you know how my orb generation is arrayed and whatnot. So what do I have to do now? Well, I have to hit Kami Masubi below half so she doesn't hit me. The problem with hitting below half is that now I get blind Skyfall, which I absolutely abhor, right? And I get half fixed HP, right? And it's, you know, it's just the worst, right? My HP set to half. I can't do anything about it. And, you know, I can kill off Kami Masubi after that. But the thing is, I go to Patty and Patty will just end me. My HP limit is half. So that means that I can't heal more than that. I don't have more than that. So I just insta-die to Patty after that. And you might be thinking, oh, but what if you just shield with Mori? I would if I could, but I can't, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so you have Sophie, and then you have Kugane. He has blind resist, right, which is insane. 2 skill boosts. He has 3 turn haste. Absolutely insane unit. Lots of effective skill boosts. And then not only that, once he transforms, he unlocks on a very rapid cooldown, which is very important. And he provides heal orbs on a rapid cooldown, which is also very important. And he provides blue orbs as well, which is a nice bonus. So he's a really good unit. So what next? Well, after I settle with the subs, I had to figure out the assists, right? And so assist wise, I already talked about the Aconite on one of the Amons. And then on the other Amon, I need to clear spinners, right? Keep in mind, I only have 8 seconds fixed move time. And while that's usually good enough for me to combo the board, you know, in the way that I need to deal maximum damage and whatnot, it's not enough time to manipulate spinners and get out of a bad board position because I only have 8 seconds. And so I added a spinner clear latent, and that way, whenever there were spinners, I just cleared it with the latent. For that equip, I needed recover bind awakenings, so I used Megumi Fushigura's equip, Divine Dot Totality, because it has the team HPs that I really wanted, and because it has the recover binds that I really wanted. And so the second Amon is used as a spinner clear stick, right? Now, in terms of HP, I know I talk about team HP. There's a lot of team HP on the team, and the reason why I need it is because I need to be able to tank the gem floor, which does like 2.1 million damage. So with the shield, that's like 840,000, which is why I needed enough team HP to get my HP up there. Now, as you can see, I also needed the help of 1 HP plus latent on Kugane to get over that 840,000 barrier. So in the end, I managed to do that, and all was well and good, right? Now, in terms of equips, now I know you guys are saying, oh, unmatchable latent on Sophie, right? Now, Sophie already has TPs of her own, so that's not a concern. What I do need from her is a Fujin. She is the only one I can entrust because I don't really need her active early. I can use it later on down the line, but I don't really need it early. So I'm just going to save her and use her as my Fujin carrier up until, when I use the Fujin, right? And so for Fujin, I picked out Christmas Palone's equip. Now, I had no idea this existed. I didn't know what it did, what its value was, but when I used it, I quickly realized it's really, 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 really insane. And the reason why is because it's a 3-turn Fujin, right? And color absorb, but Fujin is the only thing I care about. 3-turn Fujin, and its awakenings are skill boost and 3 team recovery. As I said, I need more team recovery, so could this combine with the harvest loot gives me double the recovery, which is enough to really, really heal the amount I need from every heal combo. So that's just really, really nice, and it's just great to see because it's like, okay, I did it, and thank God for this tool. Okay, so now on the assist of Kugane, I have Halloween Nene's equip, right? And Halloween Nene's equip is a double Corb equip with 2 Dark Orbs. Now, obviously, I'm not using Dark Orbs on this team, so you don't need to worry about that. But I do need the 2 combo orbs because guess what? Amon generates a lot of orbs. I need to use those orbs efficiently, and one of the best ways to use an excess of orbs is to match a big blob and generate combo orbs. It's just more and more combos, right? So I need combo orbs, but unfortunately, none of my cards actually have it innately. So I had to outsource it. And guess what? Halloween Nene is the only double Corb equip, which is why I used it. Last but not least, we have Mori. And Mori's equip is the Keigo tennis racket. And now, you might be thinking, oh my god, why would you need that? It's not even that good. Well, it is for what I needed it, right? Now, as you can see, I have a lot of struggles from the unmatchable, 20% auto loss. There's a lot of painful steps, right? If you get caught into Australis, you're pretty much dead unless you have good boards, just figuring out how to deal with the gems. And of course, there's an auto loss on Kamimusui, right? So you have to hit the 50% on matcha, right? But once you take care of all of those things, then what do? Well, what you have to deal with Patty. And Patty is the killer of water teams. She is just the bane of my existence. I really just hate her with a passion. And the reason is, right, is because Patty is green on the bottom half, right? So for the light half, she's fine. Nobody cares, right? But as soon as she switches color, she becomes one ridiculous tanky enemy spawn. And the problem with that is that she has 6 turns, right? First 2 moves are like random attacks. Third move is like generate spinners. You get 3 free turns, so 6 turns in total. And then on the 7th turn, Awoken Bind and starts executing, right? And if you shield it, guess what? You get executed again the next turn, right? The problem is 6 turns is not enough, especially when you lose 1 to clearing the spinners, right? 6 turns is not enough to clear Patty with a blue team. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I just don't see it. It's really rough. And so what I did was I brought in Keigo's equip because guess what? Patty has a VDP shield. Keigo voids VDP. So I can just straight combo with my rolls for maximum damage, right? Then it also has a color changer. It changes Patty's color to red. This is extremely important as when you have a blue team, red is your advantage color, right? And so converting Patty from green to red allows me enough damage because it's a 4x boost effectively. Without that, I'd be screwed because I wouldn't be able to do it. And I was really frustrated until I figured this out. Unfortunately, I did have to make a lot of sacrifices to get the team to work. There's only 40% skill bind resist on this team, right? I just said, what, I'll just gamble on floor 2. If I get skill bound, I'll quit and try again. That's how desperate I was because it's like, there's nothing I can do. It's like, I have to fit in all these equips. There's no space for skill bind resist. And it's not even a priority because it's only 1 floor in the entire dungeon. So I didn't prioritize it. I didn't worry about it. I just prayed I got lucky. And to be fair, I did. So it worked out okay. The other sacrifice that I had to make, I had to move assists and latents and a bunch of stuff around. So that was pretty frustrating. Other than that, I had to 120 a Starster for HP. That was pretty crude. It's just rough. But in the end, we managed to do it. And so now I can confirm, and you can confirm too, that Pantheons can beat the Fairy title challenge. with a lot of help from very OP subs and equipment. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a blast making, running, fixing, trying again. Yeah, I just had a blast with the process, and you know, I really wish I could show it, but it'd be a little hard. So you guys just get to see the end result, the product of my suffering. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a blast, and I hope you guys thought it was a blast too. I'll see you guys next time. Good luck and have fun.